Hey guys, so we are at City of Rock State Park. We're at our campsite right here. And what Abby and I would like to do is actually take a walk around the entire campground here with the camera and show you all of the campsites and maybe talk a little bit about each one and kind of point out some of the ones that might be better suited for RVers, or maybe it's better suited for tent campers or van campers, you know, things like that. And just kind of show you overall what the campground looks like.
Yes.
What do you say?
Let's go do it.
So it is going to be a little bit breezy and windy again today. It's still a little early. It's about 9 o'clock. So we were hoping to beat a little bit of this wind, but it's probably going to get a little windy during our tour of the campground.
And all of the names are based off of constellations. So if we butcher a name, we apologize.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so we're going to start off right here at our campsite. We are in site 26. What was it called? Do you remember?
Pisces.
Pisces, okay. We're going to go in a counterclockwise fashion around the campground, okay? So you can see our site right here being 26. We're going to walk south and go that direction. So let's just start right here at our site. As we said, site number 26, Pisces. All right, to give you an idea of the size, we have a 30-foot travel trailer here and a little bit of leveling, and it worked out just fine for us. So I think pretty much any big RV could probably fit in here. Pretty decent, easy to get in and easy to get out.
Yeah, and if you have, you know, a buddy with two vans or 2 tents or whatever, perfect size.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so let's just keep walking and we'll work our way all the way around the campground back to our site.
All right, so this is 28. This is Capricornus. Obviously, this is a big area to pull into. So
this is a nice site. I walked down here the other day and looked at it, and I liked it.
Yeah.
When I first was making our resi, this one was available.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure how it was going to work out for us. But now that you're standing here, it is pretty flat.
Yes.
All the way around here. So you can get a big RV in here. You have the really pretty rocks and the trees.
Yeah.
And then out here is where your table and your campfire ring is at. So this is a nice site. I like it. I think there used to be a site there. You can see where that wall was, but they must have done something to eliminate that site. And by the way, it is a little cold today.
It's in the 40s.
Yeah, it was 40s when we got up,
Yeah.
and it's breezy, so that's why we're bundled up. High of 58 today.
All right, so this is 29. This is Aries. This was a pretty big one too.
I think this one would be good for maybe a smaller RV because it is like a U-shaped driveway right here. But it's pretty.
Yes, it is.
Nice rocks here. You got the table. I think every site has a table in a camp ring.
And I see they have a trash can behind the rocks over there.
Okay. Yeah, they all have a trash can for you too. All right. This one is by the windmill, and you have the vault toilets nearby too.
You think a fifth wheel can get in this one?
Yes, I do, but you're going to have some leveling to do here.
Yeah.
Because it's lower down there as it comes up to this spot right here. But it's certainly doable for an RV.
Yeah.
Right across from site 29 is one of the hydrants here for drinking water. So if you need to fill up your rig or just get you some water, this is one of the hydrants.
And I think this is the entrance to one of the hikes.
Is that one of the trails?
Yeah, it's the Hydra, the one that we saw back there.
Okay.
Hike and bike trail.
Oh yeah, I can see it now.
Yeah.
The path goes on out there. So one of the hike and bike trail. Half a mile.
All right, this is 30 Triangulum. I'm taking a guess there.
All right, it is right across from the windmill. There's another side, it's probably 31 next to it, but this one kind of goes up in here just a little ways.
I'm picking up all the garbage I see.
This one would be a little trickier to get into with an RV.
Yes.
You can certainly back up in here, but I wouldn't want to have to. It's uphill.
Yeah.
And on a corner.
This one seems a little bit more like a van.
Yeah, I think
Tent
this one would
situation.
be better for a van camp or a tent camp.
Yeah. Really cool though, right up here.
Beautiful site.
Yeah.
Really kind of nestled into the rocks for this site right here. All right, so right next door you have site 30A. And as you can see, it's occupied with a pretty good sized fifth wheel. So I would say pretty much any rig you have
Yes.
should be able to fit into the 30A. It's a nice site.
Yes, it is.
I believe this is going to be a trash can. Yep. Right next to 30A, we're coming up the drive here. This is another one I probably would not recommend an RV.
No, it's not
uphill.
level at all, and there's a lot of ruts here. Not fun for an RV.
So there's 31.
Serpens Cotta. I don't know.
That's cool though, with the table and the fire ring up in the rocks.
You know, honestly, if you put the tent maybe up there, but this is not very flat, so
I think this would
This
be
is a
great
camper
for a
van.
tent camper. And then here's 32.
I don't know how to say that one.
Now you could, this is pretty level right here.
Yes.
So if you can back your RV up into this one, it is nice and flat right here.
I don't
You
think
just
it would
have
be
this
my
hill.
first choice for an RV, but
Yep,
it is cool that it's, you know, back in here.
yep. All right, moving on.
So this is 33 Serpens Kaput.
33?
Yep.
Okay.
It's interesting because this would be really for a small camper or camper van, definitely a tent. And is that different or just part of the site?
No, so up here, this is just your, this is like your fire pit area
Yeah.
up here. So this is definitely for a small vehicle or a tent.
Yes.
Okay,
I see a piece of trash. I'm gonna go get
all
it.
right. Another look at 33 from the road.
So I've been picking up trash as I see it.
Oh, is
so
that a
this
map?
is a City of Rock State Park trail map.
Oh, okay. Well,
So-
it's been really windy out here, so
Yes.
you're liable to see any kind of random trash blown throughout. I would say if you have a very small RV,
Yes.
like a little single axle, you could probably back in right there,
Yes.
but not a lot of room on 33. Site 34, La Certa, I believe. That sign says Indian Mills Grinding Stones, somewhere up in here.
I'm gonna have to find those. This one is big. It's not very even, so
Yeah.
it's a little bumpy.
They've had to fill this in so that
Yeah.
it could be leveled off up here. So I would say a smaller,
Agreed.
probably a smaller RV
Yep.
would be more suited, or even a van or something right
And
here.
honestly, a tent would be awesome right there. So,
Yeah, definitely. They give you a couple benches with this one here.
oh sure.
Check out the rock there. That's cool.
Can you see the balanced rock?
I didn't notice it until you pointed it out. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, site 35. What is it, babe?
Ooh, Camelopardilus.
Looks good to me.
Okay, great. This is a big site.
Yeah, this is another you got to pull up in there to it or back up in.
Yep.
It is uphill. It looks like it's leveled off up there where you camp at. This would be a nice site if you could get your RV backed in here and backed up into this spot right here.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have any problem getting it level,
Yeah.
and it's a nice site.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really pretty up in here. This was another site that they used to have open. They've got it closed up. All right, this site here is, there was a van here.
Yep.
They've already gone, obviously, but this one you're parked right next to the road.
Yep.
This is site number
37.
Okay, 37.
This is very cool though. No!
Nestled into the rocks.
Yes. So definitely not a big space, but
Yeah, this one,
this one's very cool.
I wouldn't recommend this one for an RV, especially
No.
if you have a slide. If you have a small RV, I think it would be fine. But a nice site.
Yes.
We have another one across from us here.
I don't see a marker for this one.
This one has
Oh,
two,
it's down there.
Yeah, it has 2 entrances.
Yep.
So there's the site number down there. I'll get that in just a minute.
So this one's interesting.
You got the benches, the table, fire ring. This is not a good site for an RV.
No.
It is downhill.
Yep.
Downhill. You have a little flat area right here.
Yep. You would never get this level.
So this one's going to be for a small unit or
Yep.
or a tent camper.
Yep.
There's some of the camp hosts. You've been seeing them out and about. They go around and they prep all the sites after someone leaves, and they remove the trash.
And they have a very cute little wiener dog.
Oh yeah, he is cool.
So this is 38 Sagittarius. So this is the one that we just showed.
All right.
It's so big, you would think it would be good, but
It's got long driveways, but
Yeah.
they're pretty well angled.
yeah.
All right, and then so this was 38. This one next to it looks to be built the same way because I can see the post on the other side. It's like a big U-shaped driveway. How about we just start over there so we
Agreed.
can see which number it is?
Yeah.
And it is across from some of the vault toilets too.
All right, so this is number 39, Vulpecula, perhaps. This is a long driveway for sure.
Uphill.
Yeah. I do think it's the same situation as the last. I think it's
pretty
a really
steep.
big area, but it's going to be hard to get it level, and it's not a huge area for the parking.
So a good spot up here for tent camping.
Yes.
It's pretty level up here, but the driveway is pretty steep coming up this hill here.
It does have a good view.
This is about the flattest spot right in here. I would say if you have a small RV,
Yeah, I
this
think
would
so.
work. Really pretty rocks here. Look at that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
See how they're leaning into each other? That's cool. And a pretty steep
Yeah, that's-
downhill with
a little aggressive right
lots
there.
of little bumps through there.
Yep.
All right, we'll keep it moving.
So this is 40. This is Leo. I'm going to have to walk in here to know.
All right. So this one has quite a bit of room up here, but
Yes.
it's pretty uneven.
Yeah.
It's attached to a trail that goes over to some of those other sites. You have a really nice built-up area for your picnic table and your
Yes.
fire ring.
You think our camper would fit here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think if you could, it goes uphill, so you
Yeah.
could back in. Over here is pretty flat.
Yeah.
Over here on this side. So you could do some leveling once you get up in here.
All right, so this is 41, Leo Minor. You can really get a good idea of it.
Yep. All right, guys, so let's just take a second. This is site 44, Libra, where this little Airstream is. I believe there's one or two more up in there. We'll walk up in there and check those out. Across from us right here is site 45. Is that Gruss?
Who knows?
Gruss or Gruss?
Yep.
and it is definitely a really nice site. This would be a really good one for pretty much any RV.
I agree.
It's pretty flat up in there, and you have some really pretty rocks
Yeah.
behind you. So since it's occupied, we won't go up in there. But let's walk up this way. So this is site 43 Links. It's occupied, so I don't want to disturb them. You can see this one's good for something like that right there.
Yep.
Pretty small site. And some of these sites we've been talking about that we think would be good for a small RV, we're referring to something kind of like this right here.
That boulder's just hanging.
That's cool. Look at
Yeah.
that. And then you got another balanced rock up there. That's the site that we just showed up inside the rocks that was occupied. You can see their picnic table there. We're coming down the road here. This is a parking lot for the botanical gardens. That's going to be the visitor center there. They have a picnic area. It's also part of the Hydra hike and bike trail. This is pretty.
Yes. Danger noodle.
Yep.
Summertime.
And you have some of their favorite
Oh
animals out here
no,
too.
those cute little mice. How sweet.
And so there's the trail, the Hydra trail. And this is the botanical garden, right?
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes, it is.
We made our way up to where the visitor center is. This is the entrance of the park here, the road coming in. So at the visitor center, you have what they call the comfort station that's going to have hot showers and flush toilets there, sinks. Really nice area up here. Got another windmill here too. So I believe to our left here, this is where the campsites actually start, across from the visitor center. So we'll walk up in here and we'll start checking them out.
Booties. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I got it going.
Well, this is number 1, so let's call it booties.
Booties. Site number 1. Okay. So if we had an RV, we could pull up this way and back up in here. So this is definitely
Yes.
a good site for an RV.
Yes.
It's pretty flat and level up in here. This is a little bit higher, so I think if you backed right up in here, you should be able to get nice and level here. Right across from the showers, which is a good benefit. And you have a standing grill here as well as the fire pit. Nice.
Yeah, this is nice.
Okay, so we just left site 1. This is going to be site number 2. I think Abby's going to go down there and confirm.
So this is Cane's Venticati,
Site 2?
site 2.
Okay. This is nice and big and it's pretty flat, so I think site 2 is going to be suitable for pretty much any rig you have. It is a U-shaped driveway, but it's big enough that if you had a fifth wheel or even a motor coach, you should be able to get it up in here.
Definitely.
So lots of room in site 2. Very nice. Looks like you have some trash cans right there as well.
This is a good one.
So far, 1 and 2 are nice.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff that I could not figure out when I was trying to do my research
Yeah.
and the videos that I found. They did a good job walking around, but I'm trying to be a little helpful to anyone that might be watching this and thinking, I'd like to go there.
Yes.
Because this is the kind of video I was looking for. So we just walked out of site 2. This is the driveway that's going to get you to sites 3 through 8. The main drive is right out there. So this is kind of a separate, sort of like a dead end area. That'll take you all the way into site number 8.
So number 3, Virgo. This looks pretty big too.
This is a smaller site right here. It's not very level. I would say this is a little more suited for a smaller RV,
Agreed.
just because it's not very flat here. We'll go check out 4 and 5. Summer Triangle. Okay, so what we got?
So number 4, Cygnus. And number 5 is Aquila.
All right, so this is 4. Let's check it out. 5 is a little smaller.
This is definitely rocky and bumpy.
So 4 has a wide area, but it is not very level here at all. This is all sloped downhill.
Yeah.
So this would be a little tricky for an RV to get leveled up on.
Agreed.
Number 4. The balanced rocks are really cool. All right, we'll come around here to 5. You have an uphill drive and a smaller area. I think this is doable for a larger RV like ours, but you're still going to have quite a bit of leveling to do right here, but it is doable. Picnic table, fire ring. If you can get backed all the way up in here, you have a little area here, but just keep in mind, it is going downhill at number 5.
All right, so this is 6, Lyra Vegastar.
It's a pretty big area.
I think we could get our camper in here.
It kind of slopes down a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think this is doable for a good size RV.
Yeah.
Really pretty backdrop with the rocks. Oh, and so your picnic table and fire ring is up inside the rocks there.
That's very cool. All right, so this is 7, Monoceros. This one looks like it kind of has a...
It's a little uneven.
Yeah.
It slopes down. It's a nice big site, but this is definitely unlevel right here.
Yeah, I think I'd be nervous with a big rig.
Yeah. We're getting our steps in today.
Yes, we are. All right, so this is 8. This is Centaurus. You can see, you can definitely get a big rig in there.
Yeah. That was the one that I almost booked for us, because you can see how big it is and you can fit a good size unit in there, but it's occupied, so I don't want to go disturb them. So this is the last one of this private drive area. Now we're going to work our way back out to the main road. What I wanted to point out about 7 and 8 is that you have this big circle drive right here. So if you're pulling a trailer, even a fifth wheel, you shouldn't have any worry of being able to come in here and do a U-turn and be able to back up into those sites there. All right, guys, so we're walking up the main road here. Sites, all the way through 8 to our left. So this is the electric campground over here to the right. These are electric and water sites. We forgot to point this out earlier, but there is no sewage hookups here in this park, and they don't even have a dump station. So do your research. There's dump stations down in Deming and Hatch that you can visit once you leave here. But these are really nice sites. You have plenty of space between the neighbors.
Yep.
Some really nice shrubs and bushes here and trees. So if you come here and you're wanting hookups, this is where you'll have to book, is the electric sites.
All right, so this is number 9, Phoenix. It's big.
This is a big, nice site. You have a big pull-through driveway here. It is a bit angled
Yeah.
going up to the site, but it's definitely big enough that I think any rig can fit here.
Yes.
This area right up in here is about
Yeah.
the flattest.
All right, so this is the Orion group area. It's nice and big.
I believe this is where the observatory is, so we're going to walk up in there and check it out. This is a fee area, but I think that our fee that we paid to camp here includes us being able to walk up in here. We'll point out there's some restrooms right across from it. So this is walked up into the group area. You have the big shelter there, picnic area, and you have various sites all through here.
So I think what they do is I think they set up telescopes out
Oh.
here.
Okay.
So I think that's what it is.
Oh, cool. All right, I got
Because
you.
I think that's what these pads are for the telescope.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it says observatory. I think they do a lot of programs, especially in the summertime and everything, to talk about the night sky and see the planets, and
Super dark skies here.
very dark.
Yeah, this
Shockingly dark.
is a great place to come and enjoy the night sky here.
Yes. I was just thinking, if you have a kid that is really into astronomy, please bring them here, because I think this place is the perfect place to see the night sky.
I would agree.
I bet their programs that they have, the people out here, sharing and everything is probably incredible. So, all right, so this is Site 10, Columba. I think you can really tell that this is really for smaller.
Yeah,
It's a little slopey, and the road looks a little rough.
I think the area that you have to park and set up in is a little uneven. I can tell that the truck is kind of backed up on
Yeah.
blocks.
But it's perfect for that size.
Yeah, so that's a great site.
It is, because it's way back in
not,
there.
Probably not good for big RVs.
Yeah.
Great views though.
Yes.
Right across from it, they have this bench so you can sit down and enjoy the view.
That's so cute.
Look at that cactus.
All right, so 11 is up there, and it is a walk-in. So Ursa Major, so you'll have to park here and walk your stuff up there.
Yep, perfect for tent campers.
Yes.
And this trail, there's a trail here up to that site. It goes all the way across to the other side where we're at. Well, you can see what is perfectly suited for the next site.
Yes, so Site 12, Corona Australis? Australis? Who knows? It's very cute, though.
Very nice site.
Yes.
Great for smaller rigs
Yes.
and tent campers. That's a cool looking RV.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so this is their table, and
Well, I'm not sure because they have a table over there.
oh,
So I believe this table and fire ring is going to be for
number 13.
site 13.
Corona Borealis. Yep, I think you are right.
Yep. That is definitely a very cool site.
Yes.
You are right in the rocks with this site right here. That is very cool.
All right, so this is 14, Gemini. I think it looks pretty good for an RV.
It is right next to the road, but you have a pretty good area in here for a pretty good size RV. I would feel confident with ours in here being able to get leveled up.
Agreed.
Look at the rocks stuck between the big rocks.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
All right, look. They're tiny, tiny tweezers.
Oh, really? Let's see that.
Those are miniature.
Yep, somebody dropped them. Those might have to go in the pocket and clean them up.
Do it.
Recycle them. So 14. One cool thing about this one too is that you're not next to any other neighbors.
Yeah,
so
it feels
you're kinda by
isolated.
yourself.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to continue walking up the road, and this is going to take us up to the Pegasus Campground, which is those rocks there.
Yes. All right, so this is the Pegasus North Campground. We liked this area. We wanted to be over here. It was very cool.
Yeah, these sites were booked, but this one is going to be 16. I'm sorry, it's going to be sites 15 through 19.
All right, so this one's 15A. It's kind of rough, a little bit unlevel, but.
All right, so your picnic table and fire ring is up in the rocks there. This is really pretty.
Yes.
With the rocks over here on this side, but it is pretty unlevel over here.
Yep.
I will say over here, let's check this out. This is a big site. So it looks like you could set up right here if you
Yes.
wanted to
Agreed.
for 15A. But otherwise, if you're going to be in that, you're going to have to be in a small vehicle
Yes.
to get leveled up.
All right, this is 15, so Cepheus, I don't know.
This is a U-shaped driveway, so easy to get in and out of.
You could probably get most rigs in here. It is a little uneven, but
Yeah, it's a pretty
Yeah.
nice site. So this area right here,
yeah.
they've got this kind of level right here. So I think this would work for
Yes.
pretty much any RV.
Agreed.
Your giant fifth wheels, I don't know if you can get them level or not, but I think our 30-footer would definitely fit in
Yes.
here okay.
All right, so this one's 16. This is Cassiopeia. I think you can tell this one's great for any size rig.
Any size rig here, but
Yep.
take note that it does go down. It slopes down that way.
It does.
But it is pretty even all the way across, but it is definitely downhill.
Yeah, and your fire pit and
This
picnic
one,
table look like it's in the rocks.
I wanted to book this one for us, but it was booked. There was people here when we came through. But this is really neat.
Yes. Oh yeah, this is so cool.
This is great.
Yeah.
This
And-
is one of the things that makes this site awesome.
Yeah, don't tell anybody about this one.
Yeah, y'all keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
There's a trail here. This looks like that's probably part of the Hydra Trail right there. A great site.
Very cool.
I would definitely recommend this one.
Agreed.
Be a good site. Okay, so that was site 16 where we just were at, and this is the Hydra Trail that runs behind it, and Table Mountain Trail.
Stay on the trail to avoid rattlesnakes.
No
You don't have to tell
problem.
me twice. Okay, this is 17, so Cetus.
Cetus. Never
I
heard of
like this one. I think this one's very cute.
This is a good site. Now this is pretty flat right here.
It
It
is.
goes up a little bit over there.
I think you could do a couple of things to get in here, so.
Yeah, this is a great site. This is a good RV site right here. You can back way up in here. Yeah,
Yeah,
a good site.
yes.
Good RV site. I like that. The fire ring right next to the rocks.
Okay, so this is 18. This is Andromeda. This one's interesting because it's really one of the only ones that's just right next to the other site.
Yeah, so you have a couple.
But this one's definitely a nice big site. I think we saw a fifth wheel in here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this would be a really great big RV site right
yes.
here. You see all this room. They brought some gravel in, and they've got it pretty well leveled out.
Yes.
Up in here. Yeah, this is a good one right here.
Yes.
Nice and flat.
Agreed.
Any size rig can fit in this one right here.
Yep. All right, this is 19. This is Perseus. You can tell that it's just for a little bit smaller rigs.
I think even if you have an RV, a trailer, you
Yeah.
can still fit right up in here.
Agreed.
Fine. So 18 and 19 are some good sites
Yeah.
for RVs. I think that is going to conclude. This is the Pegasus
Yes.
camp loop. Okay. So we'll work our way out and on around towards our site. All right, so that's the Pegasus campground that we just walked from. This is the main campground loop, headed back to our rig, which is right down there. And since these sites were occupied, we just wanted to kind of stop here and observe. So what we have right here is sites number 20 through 25. 20 is a tent site, a non-reservable site that's a walk-in site. You can actually access it from the other side. All right, and then 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. These are all the reservation sites, and you can see, so I don't want to go up in there because
No.
they're occupied.
Right.
So you got a van down there at the end, and you can obviously see the big rig there. So let's see the map here for a sec. So I would say sites 24 and 25 down here on the end, you can definitely get an RV into.
Yes.
It looks pretty level, and it looks like a really nice site.
Yes.
So with that, I think we're going to continue walking down to site 26, which is where we are. So let me correct myself. Where the big RV is, that's site 23. The van is site 24. So you have your own drive that goes up in there, and the trail that goes over to the other side that occupies or takes you to the tent sites, walk-ins.
So this one is 25 crab.
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 Okay. So it's now it's fairly flat here.
Yes.
So we could put our rig right here.
Definitely.
Right here in the center. It's pretty well
Yeah.
level.
And this is really cool.
So this is a good site. 25.
You know I gotta walk up in here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Is this where the table and the fire ring is?
No, the table's
I'm
there.
sorry.
I don't know where the.
Right by it. I wasn't even looking at it. This is cool.
Yeah. Definitely a cool site.
All right, so 25 I think is a good RV site. And we are nearly done with our tour.
Yes, we are.
And we have made it back
Home
to
sweet home.
Site 26, our home sweet home here in City of Rock State Park. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna catch our breath, get some water, regroup, and we're gonna give you some final thoughts of the state park and the campground, our experience here, how we've been enjoying it. So
Yep.
we're just gonna kind of wrap this up. So we'll be right back.
All right, so we just wanted to give our final thoughts about our walk around on this campground. We love this place. This is very cool, but please note that it is remote. The closest city is about 30 minutes away, so if you come out here, and you should, make sure you bring your supplies with you. You don't want to be running 30 minutes into town. So this is definitely a come here, stay, and enjoy the camp type
Absolutely.
of place.
Yeah, plan ahead.
Yes.
So you have your water, your drinks, your food that you're going to need. So it is 30 minutes. Pretty much, now Silver City is north of us. We have not been there. I think it's about 30 or 35 miles to the north, and about the same distance south is Deming.
Yep.
So you can stop in Deming. They have all of your stores and supplies there that you would ever need.
Yes.
Stock up there, then come up here to the campground and enjoy your stay. Just camp out here
Yeah.
and stay.
Yes.
It is a really beautiful campground. There's a lot here to enjoy. If you're into astronomy or you just like seeing the night sky,
Yes.
it's a great place for that. It's a great place to get away from the noise in the city.
Yes, yes, it's very quiet out here, extremely quiet.
Yep.
It's been lovely.
But keep in mind, the main campground, which is what we're on, there's no hookup, so there's no electricity, there's no water hookups, there's no sewage whatsoever out here at the campground.
No.
So plan accordingly. The electric sites have power and water. I don't know if they offer 50 amp, they might, but we didn't verify that, so you'll just have to check that out. But if you want to have electric hookups, you can definitely book that over there. And it has been windy since we've been here. There was a front jet stream that kind of moved through. So yesterday was extremely windy. I believe Abby's got a video she's working on.
I do.
Of the windy day that we had. So maybe
Yes.
you guys can check that out too. And less windy today. Today is our last day here.
I'm sad.
So we're just gonna enjoy this day.
Yes.
Tomorrow starts a new adventure, but another state park in New Mexico. We're really excited about that.
Yes, we are.
But City of Rock State Park is a beautiful place. We would highly recommend it.
Yes.
If you're into the dry camping, tent camping, this is a great place for you out here.
Yes.
Our rig has been working really well with our solar.
Yes.
We have our little Honda generator that we've only run for about an hour just to make sure that the battery was topped off.
Yep.
It's super quiet, so it's not intrusive or anything.
No. And their quiet hours are
10 p.m. to 7 a.m.
That's right.
is the quiet hours. Yeah, so we only cranked it up during the day when it's windy, so it kind of like blows the noise away anyway.
Other than cars driving by, I've heard nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing out here. So
We've seen
it's
one
lovely.
airplane fly overhead, and other than that, you have just a few people that are camping that are driving through the camp loop.
Yep.
Other than that, it's pretty quiet out here.
And if you're used to watching our videos, you know that we always have some kind of, weed eater or lawnmower going. Nothing.
Yeah, it's
So-
been really nice. But we hope that you enjoyed this video. The whole purpose of it was to try to get kind of a thorough walkthrough of the campground, since this is such a unique place to come and visit. We would highly recommend it. I was also going to point out that there's trails. You can walk all through the rocks.
Yes.
And pretty much every campsite and the trails, they're all connected together.
Yes.
So you can just walk into the rocks and pretty much just go anywhere in the state park that you would like.
And we went all through there yesterday and we didn't see another single person. So it was great. And the windy video will have some of that footage.
I think it's a great place to come and explore.
Yes.
To me, it would be a great place for kids.
Yes,
if
I
you
agree.
have kids, I would think that would keep them busy.
Agreed.
And
Agreed.
a lot to see and enjoy here.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I think that kind of wraps up our stay here
It
at
does.
City of Rock. So we're going to sign off. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please leave us a comment and let us know what you think.
And if you come stay here, let us know because we want to hear what your experience was like. So
Exactly. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram too, Abom Adventures. Abby does a good job of posting updates throughout our trip so that everybody can kind of see what we're up to, and then the YouTube videos kind of follow after that.
Yes.
All right?
Yep.
See you guys later.